Okay, so here we are with Opal, about to start our leash walking session. And I wanted to show you this just straight from the beginning, just to give you an idea of what she's like now that she's been working consistently. And so she's pulled just fresh out of the pen. She hasn't had really any one-on-one time yet before this video, and so we're just going straight to work. Put on the slip leash and do a little reward her for a little bit of manding, and then we just take off. And this puppy, I mean, everything in training for her, she's been so good. She catches on so well. She really manages herself well, just with her temperament, and she's just a really pretty controlled for a puppy. So she kind of aces this so far with where she's at in her training. I'm super pleased with her. So for the leash walking, I don't have a particular expectation other than they follow along with me. So if I change direction, I want her to follow me, and I just want her to be on a loose leash, and no specific position. So as long as she's doing that, I will reward her for those things. And when I stop, she's to the point that you could expect her to sit and give you eye contact. So here she's a little distracted. She sees the horses. So I'm just waiting, and there she gave me eye contact, so I'm going to click and treat that. So that's probably what you're going to start doing with your leash walking sessions, probably shorter distances than what I'm doing. So here's a good example. See the tension on the end of the leash, and how when she felt it, then she came back and gave me eye contact. She did it again, and then she redirected back to me. That's exactly what we're looking for, and I'm always going to reward that. So if the puppy ever hits the end of the leash, with a distraction, and then she chooses to focus back on me, that's a great opportunity to give her a reward. So she will learn, if you're consistent with that distractions are a perfect environment for her to get rewarded. So, if she gets distracted and if she focuses back on me, she gets a reward. So it's kind of goes along with everything else that she's learned so far. There's no commands for this. I'm not telling her anything. I'm really not talking to her. It's just I'm rewarding the behaviors I like and ignoring the behaviors I don't like. So it's as simple as that. And I'm just kind of flinging that leash around just to try and keep the slack out of her way. It is a slip leash, so it can get loose around the chest if I don't take up that slack a little bit. And I do have a separate video that talks about the slip leash and some different collar options. I'll make sure and send you the link for that too. No, she's doing really great. So this is your foundation starting point. Look how nicely she's trotting there. So this is your nice foundation to continue with wherever you want to go with it. Like if you wanted to do some obedience training and start, working on more of specific positioning, she's ready for that. If you just wanted to continue with this, just keep reinforcing, attention in the presence of distractions, like right there. You can reward her in motion. So if she's following along next to you, like she is here, I could click and reward that while she's in motion, just like I did. I actually chose to do that right there. So you can click while she's in motion. If I stop and she decides to stop with me as well and sit and give me attention, I will reward that. So she is doing really, really great. This is a beautiful little puppy on her walk here. don't really think there's much to it other than that. Here I'm drawing back and she's still following. I'm waiting. There, she sat, so I'll click and treat that. So when you're working on this at home, you know, you're gonna have to do this in pieces, and pick environments that she's comfortable with. Start out there, and you'll gradually build the distractions, whether that's, you know, if you start in your backyard, then maybe you add a distraction to the backyard if it's another person or another dog. And, you know, vary that level of distraction as far as how close it is to the puppy or how much noise it makes, or maybe it's a change in location. So I'm always trying to judge the environment, and I'm trying to make sure I'm working the puppy in an environment that is going to be successful for the puppy. So, anyways, that was a good little video here for you to see where she's at with the leash walking. She's doing really, really well. So this is just an example of what you can expect when you approach her or when she's in her playpen. So I expect that she can keep her paws on the ground and sit for pets, for putting food down, for giving treats, for opening doors. I expect them to sit. Again, there's no command for this. So I break it into steps. So the first step is I approach and see how she gets excited. So I'm just going to wait. And I don't say anything. I just wait until she decides to sit. And then I move to the next step. So I'm waiting. She's staring at me. And you really just got to wait it out. Boom. She sits. Good girl. I'm reaching down to pet her. She stayed sitting, so I'll continue petting her. If when I started to reach down, she jumped back up, I would just retreat and wait again until she's sitting and start that piece over again. So she's actually pretty good about this, but here, paws are up again. So I approached. She hasn't sat. So I'm just going to wait. Oh, now I'm going to work on the door. Okay, so good girl. So the door is the same thing. So try and think of these, you know, if you're wanting her to do something, think about breaking whatever it is down into as many steps as possible. So if I want to open the door and have her wait nicely, the first thing I have to do is walk over to the door, and she's not sitting, so I'm going to wait. And now that she's sitting, the next step is put my hand on the handle. She's still sitting. I lift the handle. She's still sitting. Now I can open the door and she's allowed to come through. So hopefully that gives you an idea on just the expectations you can have with the door. Like I said, placing food on the ground, any of that. Expecting them to sit is super easy. And if you continue to reinforce it, she will continue that into adulthood, and it'll be really nice. The other thing too is, so this playpen is a little short, but it still works. What I like about it is it doesn't have any crossbars. The bars are all vertical up and down, so it is a little harder for the puppies to put their paws up on it. So that's also something you might think about getting as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will see you on pickup day.